Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Welcome to the Getting Down and Wordy podcast ad.
What do we do on this podcast?
Well, it's the first musical podcast.
Can you try that again in real words so that people can understand?
Fine. We talk about the intersection of popular music and language.
Oh, can we also talk about Eurovision?
Okay.
Find us on Apple and Spotify.
We are a Podmoth Network podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your host, Dave, and today I'm joined by... I was trying to come up with something quippy, but I couldn't. I'm joined by Luke Ferry once again, everyone. Hello, Luke Ferry.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm fine. My brain is on fire. My body's slowly, systematically shutting down.
You know what? I'll take it from here then. Okay, this is Admiral Byrd and the Hollow Earth, Part 3, backtracking.
Yeah. So
a few things came to our realization.
Yeah, we just discovered some stuff. We may or may not have been accidentally promoting Nazi propaganda, but we don't. I mean, that's maybe not. All good conspiracy theories do end up becoming mildly anti-Semitic at some point. This one technically isn't.
Oh, is it only the good ones? You don't like the other ones?
Yeah, only the good ones. You realized how that sounded as soon as I said it. Whoopsie daisy. No, but this, I mean, I don't think it's not, I don't know. We'll get into it. But anyways, look, how you doing,
Episode
bud?
4, Dave leaves the show.
Well, you're looking good. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we can do this part 3. It's going to be a slog because I am hungover as all fuck, but we did it.
There can't be that much more.
There's not much more. It gets silly. It's
Oh, and now it gets silly.
Well, I mean, sillier.
Okay.
Cause do you remember where we last left off with Admiral Byrd and everything?
He awkwardly bowed to the master after the master said our flubble grabbles got attacked. So now you have to go to the Pentagon.
Yeah, pretty much. So where we last left off, this is for anyone who's jumping into part 3 and didn't listen to part 1 and 2 for some reason, but
what's wrong with you?
People do it. But so where we last left off in Admiral Byrd's story, he had finally arrived in the crystal city of Arianni. Spoiler alert. Inside of
So I came to this realization before Dave. You knew a person from like Ariana.
Yeah.
Maybe like what would they be called? Like I'm from America. I'm an American.
Ariannians?
It's the Aryans, Dave.
I don't see how. I don't see the connection.
You don't?
Here. No, not even a little bit.
The white, tall, blonde, blue-haired people from Ariana wouldn't be called the Aryans. We fucked up, Dave. Actually, no, you did. You're the host. I just show up.
I think we're reading too much into it. But anyway, all right. So, we'll get to it, Luke. Hold on. So, where we last left off, Admiral Byrd, he finally arrived in the crystal city of Arianni, inside of Hollow Earth, where he had an audience with the one known as the Master. The Master tasked Admiral Byrd with returning to the surface world at once to deliver a dire message: give up on atomic energy and any armaments, or face the certain extinction of mankind. So that's where we left off. He awkwardly bows and leaves the
German
room.
and Japanese propaganda. Well, you have a nuke. Don't use that.
So, after hearing one of the most...
Don't trust this Oppenheimer, dude. I don't know.
So after hearing one of the most metal of monologues delivered by the Master, Byrd was escorted back to the elevator by the two white, blondes, almost certainly Nazi men who have been pretty much his chaperones the whole time he's been in the city. When one of them said, we must now make haste, Admiral, as the Master desires to delay you no longer on your scheduled timetable, and you must return to this with this message to your race, end quote. I hope he means the human race.
You fucking Mick.
So Bird says that he didn't say anything as he was still trying to make sense of like what the fuck is going on. He's had a big day. He's had a day.
It's been a day.
Yeah, it's been a day. So once the elevator stopped, they quickly head back to grab Bird's radioman, who I learned is named Howie. So that's fun.
Depending on what Howie does in the rest of these antics.
Howie,
Maybe it's fun. Maybe it's like, now I'm scared of people named Howie. We'll find out.
Howie does not play a big role in this story.
No one named Howie plays a big role in any story.
That's fair. Once everyone was accounted for and ready to go, they hop back on the moving sidewalk / hovering platform. I don't know where we landed on that. I'm going to say it's a moving sidewalk. But yeah, so they hop on the moving sidewalk.
I like that best.
And soon we're back at their plane where they boarded immediately. Bird's in a hurry because now he's got an important message to deliver. And Howie's in a hurry because he has no idea what the fuck is going on. Like at this point,
he didn't get a synopsis. They're like, hey,
no,
like just no one could go into the little holding room that he was in and just be like, so yeah, you're player B, obviously you're Howie, but this is what is going on over there. They're gonna have a conversation. You can fill you in later. Like, do you want some cookies? And they're just like, nah, fuck him. Like,
no, yeah. So
stick him in a camp where he can like concentrate for a bit.
At this point, he doesn't know what happened to Bird or what he did when he left the room. So this dude like must be panicking. Like Bird leaves him alone for like a bunch of time, and then when he comes back, he's like, Howie, we gotta go now. The tall white Nazis are like, you guys gotta get out of here now. So Howie probably thinks they're like they're about to get like fucking stabbed or something. Like everyone's just like, Howie, we gotta go. Like he's probably just sheer terror. No idea what's going on. I read
definitely
in his diary when they start flying, Bird's like, Howie hasn't said a word. He's like, well, yeah, because you haven't told him what the fuck is going on. He doesn't even know if you're Admiral Byrd. You could have been a fucking replicant or something like that. You're in a crystal city. What technology do they have, you know?
Yeah, they have moving sidewalks. They can obviously make a replicant.
Yeah, in 1947, that's the height of technology. Also, I learned a fun fact about moving sidewalks. They were introduced at the Chicago World's Fair, the same time that H.H. Holmes was running his murder castle.
That's how he did it. To get around that murder castle had moving sidewalks in there. It's just like, that's why you can never get an alibi. It was like, well, I walked there, right? How did I get there at 9 miles an hour? That's absurd.
Is that the top rate of a moving sidewalk? I feel like that's too fast.
Yeah, but if you like hustle,
that's fair. But yeah.
if you're standing on a moving sidewalk, first up, I hate you.
Yeah, it's like standing on an escalator. Like go up them.
You still go.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. H.H. Holmes didn't have greased chutes from the attic to the basement. It was actually a moving sidewalk that slowly just circled the inside of the building.
Well, no, it was chutes and ladders. That's what it's based on.
But anyways, so they board the plane. We're so far off now. They board the plane and close the cargo doors and prepare for takeoff, which in this case just means like sitting down because the engines were already on. And just like when they arrived, that unseen force, quote unquote, that landed them also then shot them 2,700 feet into the air. So yeah, they didn't really do much to prepare. Byrd said his instruments aren't registering any airspeed, but they were moving at a very rapid rate. So not only did they launch them super high into the air, they also made them go super fucking fast. I don't know, like the G-forces on your body must have been like shooting off into space.
That would like give you like the bends in air. Like I don't know what the term is, but like if you go up too fast and depressurize, like they're having a bad time. No wonder Howie's like not feeling great.
But also they said 2,700 feet in the air. They're still underground, so that's like negative 1,400 feet in the air. They're not even at sea level.
That's still how like pressure works.
Yeah, that's fine. There's no pressure under there. There's a big hole that leads to the actual world.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So Byrd said that his instruments aren't registering any airspeed. But fun fact, they also have an air escort guiding them on their return trip to the surface world. 2 of those awesome swastika emblazoned Flugelrads. Now, after doing some research that I probably should have done to begin with, I found something out about the Flugelrads. The Flugelrad was an actual experimental flying machine made by, you guessed it, the Nazis. But not only that, it was also in conjunction with everyone's favorite luxury car brand, BMW. And wouldn't you know it, it looks suspiciously like a flying saucer. So that's fun. And what comes next isn't gonna help with our assumptions that the underground people are probably most likely maybe Nazis any better, because
they just are.
Byrd wrote in his flight log that at 2:15 a.m. a message comes through the radio saying, quote, "We're leaving you now, Admiral. Your controls are free. Auf Wiedersehen." And then the Flügelrecht just kind of fucked up. Oh God. See, when I write these scripts, I like to keep some mystery behind it. So I only read when we first started doing this, I only read the first third of the journal, wrote a script about that, read the second third of the journal, wrote a script about that. And then it was all coming in to this last two paragraphs. This is all based off like 2 paragraphs of his journal, and it just gets real bad.
Yeah. So new rule for Dave.
But hey,
you are allowed to do that with cryptids,
but not conspiracy theories.
No,
fair enough. But I mean, like, nothing's been overtly anti-Semitic.
If we figure, like, I was re-listening to episode 1, I was like, Jesus Christ, it's the Aryans, and we just weren't astute enough to notice.
No, because there's 2 R's, so maybe.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's just totally different.
Yeah,
oh no, there's 2 N's. There's 1 R. Fuck, I don't know, man. All right, so 45 minutes pass. And after radioing base camp to let them know they're alive and that, quote, all conditions are normal, whatever the fuck that means.
Howie hasn't spoken in a while. No, it's not.
Yeah.
He's the radio man. His one job is talking.
Yeah, Howie's catatonic. I think we need to do something about Howie, like fill him in. But yeah, anyways, they land at camp and Byrd's real mission begins. That is the telling of humanity about the coming dark age or whatever. And what better place to do that than the fucking Pentagon? So go big or go home. So where are we at right now? Not Nazi symbolism aside, where are we at with the story so far, Luke?
It's not a sentence you should say.
It's never a sentence I thought I would have to say, but we're too far into it now. We have to finish it.
Yeah, I know. I'm embarrassed for myself.
You're fine. It's fine. It's good. You're fine.
No, it just kind of tracks the same way it's been tracking. Like, yeah, of course, no one named Howie gets told anything, and the Nazis are like, "Hey, please don't use the nuclear arms that you have, because we got plans, and it's going to really fuck it up."
No, so I don't. If this is like a weird Nazi propaganda thing, it doesn't make any sense, because they said they've been around for thousands of years. Are they trying to say that this is like where the Aryan race came from? Is that what they might be alluding to? I don't know enough about Nazi ideology, so I can't answer any of this.
I don't know a ton of shit about Nazi ideology, because my life has value, and it would be a bad thing if I died.
Obviously.
But I do know things about random classes of aliens and other random species.
Yeah, we have the tall whites, right?
Yeah. So there was a species called the Aryans.
Okay.
And they were described as perfectly white, but not like us, which are fucking peach colored. They look like
paper
the
white.
moon.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And in all those scripts that like the Vril Society got super into, and they're like, "Oh, we have to like harness the power for the white race," which we're not a part of. Also, peach.
Fair.
And like there's like staffs of power and shit. Like there's like a D&D campaign with real lives, and but there was like this white race that the Nazis and Hitler based the concept off of. Like, this is the perfect person.
So it was an alien race called the Aryans. They don't ever say what race they are under the earth. So they could, maybe Arianni is the birthplace of the Aryans.
I think I've read different things. Some is from space. One was from the moon. There's inside the earth. But it's an old thing that goes back super far. David Bowie sings about it a bunch.
Yeah. So maybe he just knows the story. Maybe
he knows it. Yeah, he's deep in it. Station to Station is just like hey, have you read a bunch of ancient magic? Cool, maybe you'll understand these lyrics.
So on March 11th, 1947, Byrd supposedly attends a meeting at the Pentagon. This is almost a month after his meeting with the Master. So
It is now time to turn in your homework, David.
What?
Oh, did you not complete the homework?
Oh, no, I did not. I did not get a FOIA request because
Did you put one in?
no, I don't know how to, but also I'm going to go on a limb and say that this didn't happen because but yeah, so this is a month after he had a meeting with, so he's clearly not in any rush. It seems stopping nuclear apocalypse. He's just like, people move at their own pace. Who am I to judge, right? Sit on that info for a month.
The dishes got to be piling up.
Yeah. So in this meeting, excuse me. In this meeting, Byrd says that he detailed his discovery of the underworld city of Arianni, from its beautiful crystal buildings, its delicious warm brown liquids, all the way to its otherworldly moving sidewalks with no mention of the Master's message.
Or Jews.
Yeah, I'm just fucking with you. He definitely tells them about the Master's grand message and how we need to start doing better as a species, or we're just going to nuke ourselves to death, and that as fellow humans, the Pentagon would also be affected by that as they are part of that human race. Byrd said that his meeting was recorded and that the president had been advised of everything that transpired. So went right straight up to the top. Big old Harry S. Truman himself heard about this, possibly. So what happens next? I want you to guess what happens next.
Fuck all.
Yeah, Byrd is then detained for the next 6.5 hours, being just grilled by top security forces, generals, and a medical team because they probably think he's fucking insane. He's like, I gotta talk to the president. Aliens are inside the earth. And there's like, all
those
right,
drugs
Admiral.
were for MK Ultra. How did you get them?
Dude, it turns out this was just an MK Ultra experiment. They just gave him a bunch of acid and he just hallucinated all of this. Oh man, that would be great.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
But anyways, the only thing Byrd had to say about all of this happening is that, quote, it was an ordeal, end quote.
The resolve on this man. I got kidnapped by a subterranean race. And he's like, how did that make you feel? Dude, kind of burn out. Might take Friday off.
Gonna have to use some of those accrued sick days. He then goes on to say that he's placed under very strict control due to the national security provisions put in place by the U.S. government, and that he was ordered to remain silent about everything he has learned, seen, and heard. Obviously not stoked on it. Byrd's like, no, man, like the world needs to know about this or we're doomed. And they're just like, buddy, chill. So then he is then
like, we're the Pentagon. We know we're doomed. We did it.
Yeah, right. You don't think we have CIA assets in Ariana? Bro, we've been there for years now.
Two of those blonde guys were just Jeff. Like
Jeff just leans up from a cubicle. Hey, Admiral. How's it going? Remember me? Jeff. But yeah, so they're just like, dude, calm down. He's then reminded that he is a military man after all, and he must obey orders. So, someone not standing up for what's right, and by not doing something that it will only lead to others being hurt because they were following orders. I don't know where I've heard that before.
America.
Well, if you're wondering if he followed those
about
orders,
Howie, yes, I actually am, because
Howie does not come back up one time. He's in a padded cell
dead.
somewhere. He's
100% dead. Like, he went home to his wife, was crying to her. Like, all of a sudden, two black ops came, put burlap sacks over their head, dragged him out, never to be seen again.
Oh yeah, he's in a hole in the desert somewhere.
Yeah, like, I hope the brown liquid was.
They couldn't do it to Admiral Byrd because he's an admiral. People would notice if he was gone. Howie's just a radio man. They could take him out easily.
I bet if I saw someone named Howie die, it would just unfaze me. Like, oh, okay.
Except for Howie Mandel, man's a national treasure.
Of course.
But if you're wondering, not about Howie, but if he followed those orders, he did. He kept quiet for 9 years. His journal ends here with except for one last entry dated December 1956. Again, this is 9 years after his meeting.
Full circle, going back to episode 1, he finds out about where the vagina is located. We're back to Anne Frank's diary. Everything comes in cycles.
It's full. You know what's weird is that we were talking about Anne Frank on
between the legs.
We were talking about Anne Frank on that episode 1, and then I started watching season 2 of American Horror Story again. Fucking Anne Frank comes up, and then I was listening to another podcast. Anne Frank. It's like as soon as you said it, the world just needed me to hear that name a million times.
That's how it goes.
It's wild. But yeah.
My dialogue is sponsored by like suggested ads.
Is that it's just some like Google search history? You just use all those cookies and then that's what you say.
Also, you look thirsty. You want some liquid death?
Are you just goddamn it? All right. So in 1956, December, Byrd writes in his journal one last time, and I'm just going to read you what he wrote verbatim. He wrote, "These last few years elapsed since 1947 have not been kind. I now know my final entry in. I now make my final entry in this singular diary. In closing, I must state that I have faithfully kept this matter secret as directed all these years. It has been completely against my values of moral rights. Now I seem to sense the long night coming on, and this secret will not die with me, but as all truth shall, it will triumphant, and so it shall." Oh, it will try. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. I'm convinced this is not really.
It will triumph over all. Or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
So he goes on to say, this can be the only hope for mankind. I have seen the truth, and it has quickened my spirit and has set me free. I have done my duty toward the monstrous military industrial complex. Now the long night begins to approach, but there shall be no end. Just as the long night of the Arctic ends, the brilliant sunshine of truth shall come again, and those who are of darkness shall fall in its light. For I have seen that land beyond the pole, the center of the great unknown. And then he died 3 months later. He actually died on
so much cooler if he only used the long night once. But it's like he thought of something cool and was just like, oh, I'm just gonna keep going with that.
Yeah. He actually died on March 11th, 1957, which was 10 years to the day that he had his meeting at the Pentagon. So coincidence? Probably. He was old as fuck.
Probably.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the unfortunate story of Admiral Byrd and Hollow Earth. It kind of got away from us there, but that's it.
Away from you.
Nah, you didn't see it coming.
I found it. I saw it first.
That's fair. But yeah, so what did you think?
The only bit of credence I can give it is someone seeing something paranormal or of some sort, telling everyone about it, them just being like, fuck yourself, and then having a bad life for the rest of their life and die.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that tracks with like standard UFO shit.
Yeah. But I did find
the rest of it sounds like Nazi propaganda.
Yeah, but I don't know where if he wrote this, he was a World War II, like he got like Purple Hearts and Medal of Valor, like so clearly he wouldn't have written this. He was the one fucking bombing Nazis all day.
What year was this?
This diary, quote unquote, was written in 1947 or 46.
A little bit after Operation Paperclip, or is he born?
He was born in Winchester, Virginia in 1888.
Oh, Nazi.
And then he died in Boston, Massachusetts. That doesn't help either. Fuck.
No, right. Not at all.
But I did find out something about him. So he was technically, I think, like he's one of the first people to ever fly over the North Pole in 1926.
Okay, so it did actually kind of make sense that he didn't realize why his tools were going wonky.
But it came to light that he may have faked his flight records and the log. So he did have a diary, like in.
So Howie snitched.
Well, I don't know, because Byrd's diary was actually published and released. This shit I don't think was actually in it. I think someone added this to it. This is just like a conspiracy thing. But in the diary, the date May 9th, 1926, the flight revealed erased but then written over, like, I don't know what they're called, like degrees and coordinates and stuff like that.
Coordinates.
And the original ones don't match the ones that he wrote over. So they think that he just wanted to say he did it, but then had to turn back before he could actually do it. So he's
I feel like that's a stretch.
he might be a liar.
Like, he's definitely a liar. I don't know if it's about that.
He also attempted to be the first person to fly. Like, he was the first transatlantic flight, but then he didn't do it. And then Lindbergh was like, "No, fuck you, I'm gonna do it." And then he did it instead. So yeah, those are some things about Admiral
Didn't
Byrd.
get eaten by coconut crabs, so take the W.
Oh shit! All right, Luke. Well, that was the story of Admiral Byrd and Hollow Earth. I mean, it was still fun. It was still a fun.
It's still
story.
fun.
The Masters
Made me feel dirty, but
the Masters. The Masters.
they're Nazis. You can call them monsters.
The Masters monologue was pretty metal. I had a fun time with that one. It was pretty good.
No, it was metal.
It was pretty good.
Anytime you like involve a flower, when like a singular flower, and while talking about like the apocalypse,
Yeah,
it just makes it's like just the death of beauty. And I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Definitely good imagery.
Yeah.
I'll give it to
Like you see that one, the last rose wilt in fucking nuclear hellfire. Like,
yeah. I'll give the Master this. He has a way with words. Or I guess technically whoever wrote this fake nonsense has a way with words.
which I want to say it would be Admiral Byrd, but he also doesn't seem like he has a way with words at all.
No. Because
sometimes he like maybe he's dumbing himself down to be like, of course someone smarter than me wrote this because the rest of this is me babbling like an idiot.
But also he's got to have the memory like a steel trap to remember that whole fucking soliloquy, like, and then write it down.
I don't remember people's names when I meet them, so yeah, that would be way beyond my comprehension.
Right? It's wild.
It's like bad things. Don't do it.
Oh, fuck, dude. I'm not gonna say we messed up. I still think it was a good series. It definitely took a turn that
fun series, but I think we should be able to preface things with, hey,
there might be Nazis. Well,
sometimes conspiracy theories get out of hand.
We did preface in the first episode that this might be possibly maybe Nazis. We just confirmed it in this one.
Yeah, true.
So, you know, the warning signs were there. We just had fucking blinders on.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at like other experiences and like cryptid like concepts with the mammoths and just completely skip that one by.
You know, because we try to see the good in things. All right, Luke. Well,
that's like me driving down the highway and like there's like a Proud Boy demonstration, but I'm on Cryptopedia, like looking up some weird like the axe-handled hound. It's like there's no Nazis in New Hampshire.
Yeah, no, I don't even know about that. That's fine. Okay, so I think next week what we're gonna do. Actually, next week, I will not be able to record next week because I will be in Johnstown, Pennsylvania for Squonkapalooza.
Hell yeah.
That should be fun. So if anyone wants to join that is August 26th at the Central Park in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Squonkapalooza. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have a table set up there. I'm going to be recording some shit while there. I don't have to really have anything to sell or anything. I'm just going to have a table with me recording while it's going on. But it should be a fun time. I'm going to have a good time with it. But yeah,
and for my depressed friends out there, if you just go there and cry, you can call it cosplay.
Yeah, that's there you go. Squonk, sad but rad, baby. But yeah, no, I think next episode what we'll do is you wanted to do Hollow Moon to try and maybe brighten this up a bit.
Oh no, we're not doing Hollow Moon.
Oh no.
Moon Tunnel.
All right. All right. Yeah, that just more weird.
Decisively less Nazis.
No, wasn't someone fleeing? Were they fleeing the Nazis or something like that? That's why they're in the cave.
Yeah, I think you're right. But at least the Nazis are the bad guys in this one, not the cool dudes with the advanced civilization who's like, no, don't use the nuke.
That's fair enough. All right.
Don't end the war.
Follow us at Cryptid Cocktail on Instagram. Follow us at Cryptid Cocktail on Twitter. Cryptid Cocktail Party on TikTok. That's it. Follow Luke on Instagram, Spring Heeled Luke, if you want to see pictures of his kitty. And
Actually, I don't even know why I didn't do this before. The Wicked Folk on Instagram was a folklore and cryptid Instagram I made. And now that I'm doing this again, I think I'm going to revive it.
So go follow. What is
fun
it?
stories. The Wicked Folk.
The Wicked Folk. All right, you heard it here first, folks. Wicked folks. All right, Luke, do you want to say a goodbye?
Avita Zen, Dave.